We had the dot-com boom, sir. Then it crashed and led to recession. So now we are coming up with startups. So we have to ensure that about a decade back we had the dot-com boom, sir. And after that we had the crash. Now we are in the startup stage. So we should have some mechanism to prevent the failure. Our students should be taught how to run a company effectively. Instead of just having an idea and running the company, they must be taught how to run a company effectively so that there will not be any failure and one more recession. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think your point was well taken. In fact, that happened and we are seeing some of the results playing out. A lot of startups funded and going bust. And because of the haste shown by some angel funds and VCs in investing, over-investing also perhaps. So that I think is part of the learning curve. And I think I'm sure that this is a titration which happens and finally it will all settle down. So I guess it's a market where probably, as Mr. Sanjay just mentioned in the morning, out of 100 startups, I think eventually only about 10% will eventually get funded. So the market itself will reject them in the first phase, I think. So therefore, there are mechanisms built in the market that will all find its level in due course, I think, definitely.
There is no foolproof method that the failures can be avoided. It's not a structured way. Entrepreneurship. I'll give you just one answer which the director DST gave in Gujarat. जिसकी पूछ जलती है वही लंका जला सकता है. So, your tail has to take the fire first, only then you can burn the Lanka. Hanuman has done it. And so entrepreneurs sitting here will agree to that. Our tails have burnt already. And we have learned a lot.
Yes. I am the project coordinator of XXIV project, working in Road Office, neighboring campus. And my clarification is the students from all the institutions, almost all government engineering colleges and other private institutions, though we are having a category of activity, industry institution interaction, their participation in entrepreneurship and industry interaction is very less. Almost only 5 colleges are participating and they are having incubation cells. To our survey. And it is working in full-fledged only in these 5 engineering colleges. All other colleges are almost not aware of entrepreneurship. Though the more workshops are conducted in Chennai and Coimbatore, whereas in other places, neighboring places, south side as well as near Salem, they are not aware of entrepreneurship. So my suggestion is for the Board of Studies of Anna University and other autonomous colleges, if curriculum is introduced as a part of paper for entrepreneurship development, then the students as well as the faculty handling the entrepreneurship will be aware of this. So if it is introduced as a faster one, then it will be better for the students. They will get the awareness.
You want to answer?
But the students are not implementing it. It's an elective. Yes. If it is a core subject, then they will be made compulsory.
I'm not very sure about that because you can't trust something on someone. But awareness is fine. If they are awareness, you are talking about awareness. That's
awareness is only if they practice it. For the industry institution interaction, the participation is very less.
Actually, the point you made is fine. I think the entrepreneurship for the institution as well as the students is a choice. Currently, there is no compulsion to do that. It cannot be a compulsion because it is a very rarefied small group which actually focuses on entrepreneurship. So, but the point you made is that institutions must have a track for such students. They should not be left uncared for or unattended to. So that is the point. So probably what Sanjay said that what AICTE is doing is develop optional tracks. I think that will solve the problem. So that maybe if I want, I can choose between these tracks. So I think that is the way to go. So that maybe there are options and choices available to people.
It is made compulsory for the students. In the part of the growth
it should not be made compulsory. That is our point. That is the point. That is the point. So I guess compulsion will not solve the problem of getting businesses started. So I think it should be awareness is a different matter. So what we can do is, let me also say what EDI is doing. EDI has launched a program called the Innovation Entrepreneurship Development Program. We work with about 170 institutions which have chosen to be with the program. Right? There are maybe 2,000 institutions in the state. So unless the institution makes a conscious choice that this E&I is for them, there's no point in doing it, right? Because you may train a few faculty, but if they don't receive support from the top management, then what's the use? So therefore, the institution must elect itself that they may want to be part of such a program. And then what we do is that we have been running what she also mentioned is that we do a 3-day faculty development program, 3-day program for student leaders. So and then there are a series of events like Sanjay mentioned, that because it is a process. So I guess it should be carefully structured and curated. So we run a lot of programs. Like for this idea, now we have a startup activation program with the help of Forge fellows. Then we had also circulated what SV.co is doing, and many students opted to join the program. So all these programs will keep continuing, making them participate in a whole host of events. So we will make this choice available. So I would say that maybe there is a case for faculty to get oriented, definitely, yes. Certainly. So if the faculty choose to enroll in these kind of programs, I am sure that they can also...
Involvement of the faculty is very less.
No, see, again, that is a matter which cannot be thrust upon somebody. See, if the faculty decides that I will not do entrepreneurship, you may nominate him or her as the EDC coordinator, then that will be disaster, right? So we would want somebody to come in willingly into that position and say that, look here, I want to become an entrepreneur, I want others also to become an entrepreneur. That we want those kind of people to come into that position. So, I mean, for those of EDC coordinators here, I hope that you are here by choice. Don't be here by force. I think so. You will be doing a tremendous damage to yourself and to the students who are guiding. So you should be there for passion and belief.
So, different states have taken different approach to the same problem because this problem exists in all states. See, before PM came and said Startup India, not many people knew about startups, except the whole startups crowd in Bangalore or Bombay or Delhi. But now it's spreading fast and wide, right? So the framework is now coming down. So I'll tell you what Gujarat Technical University has done. They have done, and so there is this, so AICTE chairman was saying, you need to take a MOOC, right? So the MOOC is like a free course, and in GTU, they have made one MOOC mandatory. There is no exam for this MOOC, but student has to go through this MOOC mandatory, and it is taken in the 3rd semester. It's delivered fully online. It's like a 6-week, 8-week course. Suddenly, once you've done that, all students from that semester onwards are aware of basics. It's like an introduction to entrepreneurship, like free course sort of thing. It is not a credit course. The moment, so that is what GTU has done, right? Now what KTU has done, Kerala Technical University, any student who goes and do a startup, he has to do a basic MOOC first. So there are 6 incubators under KTU which are doing this. All 6 have taken one standard MOOC and saying, go learn this before you come to us. So some awareness is created there, right? The third key thing I think which I would recommend EDI to do is to actually have like a very significant public relationships agency. Because in Kerala we use press like anything. Like the press wants information, so the university activities and all of that, solid press activity creates massive awareness over a period of time. None of this will happen like tomorrow, but the direction in which the change is flowing, I think is becoming very clear to you. Now, what will accelerate that change? The more problems you throw to us, the more tackle areas Mr. Rajaraman sir will know, this is, now I know faculty program needs to know. Now I know hub and spoke. I think towards the end of this day, he has a very clear idea what 5 things he has to do next, right? And eventually, nothing will be like a success. The moment you create a success, now everybody will know. Like, you don't need to like awareness, all of that goes away. Kids will know who's become successful. So that will happen on its own.
So, what will... Yes.
4 years are not sufficient.
4 years?
Are not sufficient for some students. Some
For-
projects.
For what? To complete the project?
Yes.
Okay, see, I will answer this question very briefly. See, you're talking about a project, student project or something like that?
Will they be able to continue?
Yeah, see, this is the dilemma of some of our projects, So, projects end up as again, wasteful exercises because of that. So, I think this is one thing which was a thought for all of us. I wanted to say that, but since you mentioned that, I have no other option to mention that. See, the innovator and entrepreneur need not be necessarily the same person, right? I think so. World over, we have seen that. And somebody who prototypes can be owner of the IP, but he can always give it to somebody else who can probably take up the job of commercialization. So that also is something which I think should weigh on all of you. So if somebody is able to prototype and show something which is working technically, he or she should be willing to take the step of say signing an agreement and say you take it out and then you develop it further and then commercialize it. So that is something which the engineering colleges can really look at. If somebody has developed something which is worth doing and this guy is left for higher studies, that half the project which looks very promising gets dumped in the rubbish basket is something which can be avoided. You can probably have another set of student teams look at the same thing and take it to the next level and probably license it to somebody out there, and a tested entrepreneur will probably even add it to his assembly line. So these are all things probably we can all look and talk about in due course, so that there is a continuity in the process of product development. So I think since we are running out of time, I think we will end this. I think it has been a very useful exercise. A lot of very diverse opinions coming out here, and I'm sure that we as part of Anna University and EDI will definitely take forward all these points. Anna University from the academic point of view, and EDI from the practical point of view of say creating the ecosystem, and creating the support system for entrepreneurs from within and outside academic institutions. We will certainly take that go forward. What we will do is also have follow-up workshops in all the 6 hubs that we have set up across the state. So a similar kind of a dissemination workshop will be organized by the hubs, so that maybe institutions and people who couldn't come for this workshop will also get an opportunity for listen and think about it, so that it actually really goes down to the grassroots, So we will do that, and also probably do a PR exercise in kind of launching this policy and it's I think through some TV shows and all that stuff. I think that probably is a way to go. So from your side, our expectation is that maybe you should go back to your top management, knock their doors, and see, if not out of the menu options of say 20 or 30, at least 5 or 10 of the basic stuff, or 40 are talking around, starts getting rolled out in your institutions. So I first of all like to thank all the panelists for having given their wisdom on the topics, on the questions that have been raised. And I thank all of you for the patient listening. And I'm sure that the people who are out here appear to be very persistent, So yeah, they're all determined to stay back. So I'm sure that this crowd here who start till 5 o'clock are probably going to be the game changers. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Big hand for all of you.
I thank everyone on the dais and off the dais for making this section very interactive and informative one. I thank everyone. I now request Engineer VD Anandan, Deputy Director EDI, to deliver the vote of thanks.
See, before going to vote of thanks, I'd like to say that the country lost 2 best startups because I have 2 sons. See, the problem is I used to get them cars when they were kids. So I used to get 2 cars and give to them. They play for a few minutes, then dismantle the car and put it. So what I used to do is to give a blow to them. That's it. Instead, after attending this startup meeting, what I think is I might have got them a new car and given them and asked to assemble. I think I might have got 2 good entrepreneurs. So thank you AICTE for giving good opportunity on this startup policy. So on behalf of EDI and CED, we thank our Honorable Minister for Higher Education for inaugurating this wonderful session on AICTE startup policy, and we thank the AICTE Chairman and Startup Policy Committee Chairman and members on making this function a grand successful. And I also thank all the member participants who made the presentations and kept the sessions very late. And I thank all the top management and the faculty who attended this program and who are going to take this program in a successful way. Finally, one and all, I thank all the members, and particularly I would like to thank the students of Entrepreneurship Forum for Girls and Agni Suragal, who has made this event, conduct of this event a successful one, and also for Dr. Lenin, Dr. Brinda Lakshmi, Dr. Sharmini, then Mr. Kishore, Daniel, Abhinay, Tilaga, and every member of CED for conducting this program in a successful way. So finally, I thank on behalf of CED, EDA and AICTE all the members. Good, thank you, and let us take the